Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. Before we dive into today's powerful story, take a moment to tell me, where in the world are you watching from? I love seeing our community grow from every corner of the globe. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because tomorrow's story is one you won't want to miss. It's raw, real, and might just change the way you see aging, strength, and second chances. Now, let's get into it. The 5 movements that actually keep you young after 70. 1. Strength training, the secret to staying strong after 70. Walking is a great way to stay active, but after the age of 70, it's no longer enough on its own. One of the biggest challenges older adults face is something called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass that comes with age. And the truth is, if you're not actively working to maintain your strength, your body will slowly start to lose it, even if you walk every day. Walking mostly works the lower body, and it doesn't provide the resistance your muscles need to stay strong. That's why doctors now say strength training should be a top priority after 70. Take Robert, for example. He's 74 and used to walk every morning, thinking it was enough to stay healthy. But one day, he struggled to lift a small box that used to feel light. He also noticed it was getting harder to get up from the couch without using his hands. At first, he blamed aging. But when he spoke to his doctor, he learned that his muscles were simply getting weaker from lack of resistance training. So Robert started adding light strength exercises to his routine, things like squats, resistance bands, and lifting small weights. Within a few weeks, he felt more stable, stronger, and even had more energy throughout the day. The good news? You don't need a gym membership or heavy weights to build strength. You can use simple tools like resistance bands, household items, or even your own body weight. The key is progressive resistance, gradually increasing the challenge so your muscles stay engaged. It's not about lifting heavy. It's about staying strong enough to carry groceries, open jars, or stand up without help. If you're wondering where your strength stands, try this. Sit in a chair and stand up without using your hands. If you can do it easily, you're doing great. But if you struggle, it might be time to start rebuilding your strength. Strength training is one of the most powerful things you can do to stay independent, avoid injuries, and even improve your brain health. It's never too late to start. Your muscles are your foundation, and after 70, protecting them means protecting your freedom. 2. Balance and stability, the hidden danger most walkers miss. Building muscle is a powerful first step, but strength alone isn't enough. What if you had strong legs but still fell because your body couldn't stay balanced? That's the reality many older adults face. And here's the shocking part. Walking, while good for movement, does very little to actually improve your balance. It's a truth that surprises most people, usually after a fall or a close call. Edward, age 76, walked every single day. He believed it kept him safe, strong, and independent. But one afternoon, while stepping off a curb, his foot landed wrong. He wobbled, his arms flailed, and for a split second, he thought he was going down. He caught himself just in time, but it shook him hard. His doctor later explained that while Edward had built decent leg strength from walking, he wasn't training the small, stabilizing muscles in his feet, ankles, and core, the muscles that keep you steady. And without them, even strong legs won't stop a fall. After 70, falls become one of the leading causes of injury, and often they don't happen because of weak muscles. They happen because of poor balance. That's why experts now say, don't just walk, train for stability. Simple exercises like standing on one foot, shifting your weight side to side, or walking heel to toe in a straight line can make a huge difference. And no, you don't need a gym. You just need a few minutes a day and a little focus. Think about it. When was the last time you tried putting on a sock while standing? Did you wobble? Did you have to hold on to something? That's your body quietly warning you. But the good news is, balance can be rebuilt. Edward started doing slow, controlled movements every morning. Within weeks, he felt more grounded, more confident, more in control. Strength keeps you moving, but balance keeps you from falling. The two work together, and if you've been focusing only on one, your body is already feeling the gap. So as you build muscle, don't forget to train your balance too. Because one small misstep without stability can change everything. But with the right training, You can stay steady, strong, and one step ahead of a fall. Flexibility and mobility, the silent thief of independence. So now you've started building strength and working on your balance. But there's one more piece of the puzzle that people overlook until it's almost too late: flexibility and mobility. And trust me, losing them doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks up on you, silently, gradually, until one day you realize you can't move like you used to. Think about it. Have you ever turned your head and felt a tight pull in your neck? Or bent down to tie your shoe and realized your hips feel stiff? That's not just aging, it's mobility loss. And here's the real danger. When your joints tighten and your range of motion shrinks, your risk of falling skyrockets. You may have the strength to stand and the balance to avoid a fall, but if you can't move freely, you're still vulnerable. Take Walter, for example. He's 78. For years, he walked every day and recently added strength and balance training after a scare. But he noticed that getting out of bed felt stiff and reaching into the back seat of his car took more effort. His doctor explained what most people don't realize. Walking and even strength training don't stretch your joints through their full range. Without targeted mobility work, your muscles and connective tissues start to tighten, limiting your movement and making everyday tasks harder. That's when Walter added a few simple flexibility exercises to his morning routine: neck rolls, gentle twists, ankle circles, shoulder stretches. Nothing extreme, just a few controlled movements every day. Within weeks, the stiffness faded. He stood taller, moved easier. Even his posture improved. Mobility work isn't about doing splits or becoming a yoga master. It's about keeping your body free and fluid, so every step, every stretch, every reach feels natural, not forced. And when you combine flexibility with strength and balance, that's when you truly protect your independence. So if you've already started building strength and practicing balance, great. But now it's time to ask yourself, can you move without restriction? Because losing flexibility is like rust spreading across your joints. You don't notice it right away, but once it sets in, it steals your freedom one small movement at a time. You don't have to let that happen. Stretch, move, reclaim your range. Top 4. Core and posture, the invisible force behind every movement. Once your joints are moving freely and your flexibility is improving, you might think you're in the clear. But there's a hidden factor, one that quietly controls your every movement. And it's often ignored until your back starts aching or your body begins to hunch forward. That invisible force is your core and posture. And without it, all the strength, balance, and flexibility in the world won't keep you upright. Harold, 75, had been doing everything right. He walked daily, added strength training, practiced balance, and stretched every morning. But something still felt off. His lower back was constantly sore, his shoulders were rounding forward, and standing up straight took real effort. One day, as he looked at his reflection, he barely recognized himself. His posture had changed, slowly but noticeably. His doctor explained the truth. As we age, the deep muscles in our abdomen and lower back weaken, especially if we don't intentionally engage them. Walking doesn't target them. Neither do basic strength or flexibility exercises. And when the core is weak, your posture crumbles. You start to lean forward, your spine compresses, and your joints bear more strain. Over time, this leads to chronic discomfort, reduced lung capacity, and a higher risk of falling, even if your balance feels fine. So Harold started small. He practiced standing tall against the wall, engaging his abs while sitting, and doing gentle pelvic tilts. Within a few weeks, he felt a difference, not just in his back, but in his confidence. He was standing straighter, breathing easier, and walking taller. It didn't take fancy equipment, just focus and consistency. Your core is your anchor. It stabilizes your spine, protects your internal organs, and holds your body together as you move through life. And good posture isn't just about appearance, it's about function. When your spine is aligned, your joints work better, your balance improves, and your movements feel smoother. So here's the question. When was the last time you checked your posture? Try this. Stand with your back against a wall. Are your head, shoulders, and hips all touching? If not, your body's sending a message. Don't wait until the pain starts. Train your core, reset your posture, and stand tall, because real strength starts from the center. 5. Joint protection, why walking alone could be wearing you down. You've strengthened your muscles, steadied your balance, restored your flexibility, and realigned your posture. But there's still one more piece that ties it all together: your joints. Because even if everything else feels solid, if your joints are inflamed, stiff, or worn down, every movement becomes a struggle. And here's the part no one tells you: walking alone could be making it worse. Raymond, 77, thought he was doing everything right. He walked every morning, kept good posture, even stretched. But over time, his knees began to ache and his hips felt sore after every walk. He brushed it off as normal aging, until the day he couldn't make it around the block without needing to sit. His doctor gave him a wake-up call. Repetitive impact from daily walking without joint supportive movements was breaking his body down instead of building it up. As we age, cartilage thins, joint fluid decreases, and our natural shock absorbers wear out. Walking is still important, but doing only walking, day after day, puts the same pressure on the same joints with no relief. That's why doctors now recommend balancing walking with low impact movements that protect, lubricate, and strengthen your joints without grinding them down. After learning this, Raymond made one powerful change. He replaced 3 of his weekly walks with water aerobics and stationary cycling. Within a month, the pain started to fade. His joints felt looser. He could move longer without soreness. And he didn't have to stop being active. He just had to move smarter. Low impact exercises like swimming, tai chi, gentle yoga, or even chair stretches increase blood flow, build supportive muscles, and help your joints feel younger. And they're not just for people in pain, they're the secret to avoiding pain in the first place. Try this. Sit in a chair and stand up slowly, without using your hands. Do your knees feel smooth or stiff and achy? That simple motion tells you a lot about how your joints are doing. Don't wait for discomfort to stop you. You've worked too hard building strength, balance, flexibility, and posture to let joint pain take it all away. Protect your joints now, so every step, every movement stays pain-free and powerful for the years ahead. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Now that you've learned about the 5 areas that truly matter after 70: strength, balance, flexibility, posture, and joint protection, which one do you think you need to focus on the most? Or maybe you've already been working on one of them. Share your experience in the comments below. Have you noticed little changes in your body, like getting up from a chair being harder or your balance feeling a little off? Maybe your back aches after a walk, or your joints feel stiff in the morning. Whatever it is, your story matters. You never know who else in this community might be going through the same thing and could be encouraged by what you share. So drop a comment and tell us, what did you learn today? What are you planning to do differently after watching this video? And where are you watching from? Your feedback not only helps me make better content, it helps build a space where we all learn and grow together. I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going, because growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser and stronger together.